For the public, July the 1st, 2020 holds no memory, as it is neither marked as a special day in Nigeria nor in a global calendar to be celebrated. Nonetheless, this day has become significant with the Nigeria Export Processing Zones Authority (NEBZA) and the Free Trade Zone Scheme in Nigeria. For on this day, a new era was unfolded at the agency. His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari had on June the 26th, 2020 announced the appointment of a new sheriff, Professor Adesoji Adeshuba, to oversee this very important agency of the federal government, NEBZA, as its managing director CEO. Professor Adeshuba, a seasoned technocrat and a thoroughbred private and public sector investment promotion and development expert, had chosen July the 1st to assume duty, a day that signified a fresh start and a new dawn in the management of both the authority and the Free Trade Zone Scheme, ostensibly set up to fast-track and sustain economic growth and industrialization of the country. Professor Adeshuba assumed duty during the challenging period of the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown, but that did not deter him from activating the series of reforms and positive changes the subsector witnessed during his 3-year stay as its helmsman. He set out to tenaciously embrace the mandate assigned to him by his principal, President Muhammadu Buhari, with a single mind to succeed no matter the odds. Needless to mention that his taskmaster, the President, was confident of his ability to deliver.
I felt comfortable. I was coming to an area that I knew that I have over the years known the problems, and I was going to make an attempt, a good attempt to see if I can get some things right.
He adopted a hands-on approach to his task and brought his wealth of experience and expertise to actualizing his mandate at NEBZA. Ably assisted by his highly effective and efficient board, management team and staff, his 3 years at NEBZA witnessed what could unarguably be referred to as some of the best times of the Free Zones Scheme in Nigeria since its introduction in 1992. A few months into his administration, the public and key stakeholders in the subsector began to feel the positive direction he was piloting the scheme for greater performance. Issues of infrastructure deficit, which had been the bane of the success of the scheme in the country, was given the serious attention it deserved. Key infrastructure needs such as access roads, electricity, water, warehouses, administrative buildings were given attention in the 2 public zones located in Calabar and Kano. Professor Adeshuba's pursuit for excellence is also etched on Kofo Abayomi Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, as he delivered a masterpiece ultra-modern liaison NEBZA office codenamed Adebayo Adeniyi House. He also replicated similar feats in the Kano Free Trade Zone. No doubt, the Free Trade Zone landscape in Nigeria under the erudite professor witnessed tremendous attraction of both foreign and local investments, in addition to other groundbreaking achievements. Typical examples in this regard include the completion and commissioning of the Lekki Deep Sea Port, Nigeria's first deep-sea port owned by the Tolaram Group based in Singapore and operated by the Lagos Free Zone, as well as the commissioning of the Dangote refinery, scheduled to significantly reduce petroleum importation into the country and to boost power generation. Some of the events that marked breakthroughs in the success story of the operations of the Free Trade Zone under Professor Adeshuba include the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) with the Federal Inland Revenue Service to improve administration of taxes in the free zones. setting the stage for the listing of free trade zones enterprises on the Nigeria Stock Exchange market. Designation of 4 international airports in Nigeria, namely the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos, Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano, Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, and the Port Harcourt International Airport, Port Harcourt as free trade zones. Establishment of new special economic zones in Lagos, Kwara and Katsina states, respectively. The settlement of the lingering dispute between Lador Free Trade Zone and Samsung, which helped to restore an over $300 million investment, as well as 3,000 employees.
One other thing that happened immediately I came in that just confronted me was the conflict between Samsung and Lador Free Zone. And there was a conflict that had to do with billions of dollars, and that conflict had lasted for almost upwards about 4 years, and they couldn't resolve it. So when I came in, I put in my arbitration skills and my legal skills and made sure that was a quick win for me, and that was resolved.
Other landmark achievements include the establishment of the Free Trade Zone Training Institute, Kano, digitalization of NEBSA Free Trade Zone operations, establishment of NEBSA Alternative Resolution Center, increase in the number of free zones from 42 to 52, with the number of enterprises in the free zones growing from 500 to 612. Increase of combined free trade zone investment value from $25 billion to $30 billion. Additional milestone achievements include the ongoing review of the authority's legal regulatory framework, which is critical to support the current special economic zones concept in the country. Adoption of a national single registration operational license regime under the National Economic Development Policy, which gives potential investors the right to situate and operate their enterprises within any zone of their choice.
At NEBSA, we managed to put together the one-stop shop principle and also to put up the processes that is quite fast.
Going forward, Professor Adeshuba was instrumental for the establishment of the Nigeria Economic Zones Association, NEZA, an umbrella body established in September 2020 for all the free trade zone stakeholders to handle all matters relating to effective zone operations nationwide. The window change for greater performance of the free zones scheme was also experienced at the internal workplace of NEBSA with the restructuring of its operations. In this regard, staff development and motivation, capacity building through training, improved welfare, and the creation of new units to support new strategies were some of the initiatives of NEBSA management under Professor Adeshuba.
He has brought in some new legacies which were not there in the system. Before he came in, I remember the first week he resumed, every staff, like every week, people were writing for financial assistance to go to the hospital. And when he asked, he said, "Why is everybody sick? Do you have an insurance policy for staff?" And we said, "No." He said, "Look, this is something that we need to do. We have to take care of our staff." And within a short while, we have established a health insurance policy for staff. So in all the offices, if you're in Lagos, you have hospitals that you can go to. If you're in Calabar, Abuja, the same. So, we don't have this fear for ill health anymore. Another thing again that Prof has done was the retirement package. Before Prof came, we didn't have a retirement package. When you finish your 35 or 60 years in NEBSA, you pack your bag and you go. And as you know, it takes like a year or even 2 before you get your pension. But we have established a retirement package thanks to him, that when you're leaving, at least you'll have something to smile.
If you don't mind my being selfish, I will tell you that I'm a beneficiary of what he built. because I wasn't here at head office. I had never known him. He had never met me. The only time we met was when he paid a maiden visit to the Dangote refinery where I was overseeing as zone administrator. But he gave everybody a level playing field when the promotion exam was conducted. And not just that I came tops in our batch, but without having known me, he said, come and head the investment promotion department. And 2 years down the line, I can say that with his pedigree, with his support and pedigree, we have achieved some milestones in this department.
I also want to thank him for making me take initiatives without using his veto power, and that I greatly appreciate. That shows how a good leader should be. He should allow his subordinates to take their initiatives without using his veto power. And the few moments I acted for him for the 2.5 months, he never interfered. He allowed me use my initiative to drive the organization, and that is very rare of leaders.
There is no doubt that in more than 3 years of dedicated service, Professor Adesugba left an indelible mark and set a solid foundation for the continuous growth of the Free Trade Zone scheme in Nigeria.
The kind of support we have received under the leadership of Professor Adesoji Adesugba, he along with his full team, they have been following just one philosophy of encouraging investment in the free zone.
NEPSA is one of the government agencies that has shown the world that Nigeria can beat international expectations and attract investment from across the globe.
As he hands over the baton of piloting the affairs of the authority to his successor, Dr. Olufemi Ogunyemi, himself another visionary leader in business development, policy implementation and global diplomacy, at this brief but colorful ceremony in Abuja, there is no doubt that NEPSA shall continue to live up to its mandate of accelerating the country's industrial policy and economic growth. We now leave you with testimonials and felicitations for the professor by his associates, friends, stakeholders in the subsector and staff of NEPSA.
As he leaves the organization, I wish him well. I know he's going to do well because I know his abilities and his capabilities. But I wish him well, and I pray God's guidance with him in his future adventures. He has come into NEPSA and he has made it a better place. Well done, Soji.
He's a good boss. He's your friend, he's your mentor, and we'll surely miss Mr. Adesugba.
It was a great pleasure working with him. I will always work with him if the opportunity comes again.
We wish him well in his next dispensation, or wherever he goes to, may God be with him.
We wish him well. We pray to Almighty God to help him in all his life endeavor.
Because I still need his wisdom in my journey to the other side after the public service. How he's been doing it, I need to know more about how he's been doing it since he left NIPC to BPE, to NEPSA, and some other places that he has excelled. I want to emulate such a person in my life.
I will miss him. Definitely, I will miss him. He's a fighter. The right thing he believes in, he fight it to logical conclusion.
For me, Professor Adesoji Adesugba, like the shed that normally goes, one comes, he sees, he conquers. But in addition to that, Professor not just conquered, but he built. He built men, he built institutions, he built organizations.
And we, from the Chamber of Commerce, are the most excited people here. You lost our game. We have missed you so terribly, Prof.
Keep on laying more good roads wherever you go, and please don't be tired. I'm not tired. I'm retired, but I'm not tired. So you shouldn't be tired.
I wish you well in your future endeavor. Knowing the kind of person you are, I know you can't go on retirement. I don't think I'm ready to go to the village yet. I'll still be contributing one aspect or the other, like I've always done.